By the king's order, you travelled with the princes and the elite royal guard to the Akashian ruins to retrieve books from the library and water from the royal grotto. That night, you sat with your beloved Prince Adresin, having dinner and discussing your life back in the Earthrealm, when you both overheard Prince Elluin declining to break from his watch with a guard. You decided now was the time to talk with him and headed to his watchpost. Prince Elluin failed to reassure you that he was fine, as you confided in him your concerns for his health and the distance growing between himself and everyone around him. Acknowledging his feelings towards you and how he's been acting, he agreed to get some rest. You returned back to Prince Adresin and told him that you were able to convince Elluin to retire from his watchpost. Prince Adresin also had something to discuss with you and led you back to the tent you both were sharing. Confiding his worries about both your futures, he insisted on waiting just a bit longer before he tells you what he originally wanted to discuss. In the morning, everyone packed everything up and took their griffins back to the Gaelin Castle. Meanwhile, Keasatran has just finished a meeting with the Aear Lug Generals as a messenger has news for him.
Make sure you follow the plan accordingly. Any deviation will destroy the kingdom and any chance for the rightful ruler to take their place in Oira Londe. Dismissed. Excellent timing. Your report.
Pardon me, High Priest. General Sir Gaelin, who was supposed to show up, was reported dead in his tent at base camp.
Damn him and his pride. Anything else?
It was most likely a fight between him and the traitor Prince Adresin. It looks like they were trying to save the general from a wound to his chest, which makes no sense as the prince is a traitor to Princess Sylvana.
What does he plan on doing? Most likely trying to gain information on troop deployment. What of the other soldiers in camp?
About 38 have fallen, but the rest of the deployment is missing.
Most likely taken as prisoners of war. The prince seems to have a soft heart for his people despite his sister's ruling. That will be his downfall.
Your orders?
Have word sent to the tracking party to continue their search for Prince Siren and his base camp. I also need to wait for Princess Sylvana by the docks with an escort back to the castle. Make sure she is brought back with haste, and have her wait in her quarters until I call for her. Do not let her leave her quarters.
Of course, High Priest. Right away.
The Aear Lug messenger rushes out of the war room, leaving Keasatran standing up from his chair. He walks around the table and picks up a crowned figure piece representing Siren and then places it back on the table.
You, Prince Siren, will be dealt with in due time. That is, if you can survive what's coming. Captain Greywald. Great seeing you again. How did it go?
All has gone well with the mission, with no issues from the Aear Lug Kingdom. Princes Adresin and Elluin, as well as Princess s3e5, helped tremendously with the gathering of resources. I have my men unloading the griffins as we speak. What are your orders?
Wonderful to hear that. As for your orders, make sure to take the books directly to the library and the grotto water to the wine cellar hold, separate from the rest of the casks. Report to our lair for deployment instructions afterwards. It's time for us to be on the offense against the Aear Lug.
My men will be pleased to hear. As you command, my king, we will be ready.
Aha! There you three are. Wonderful jobs with the mission. The captain has already debriefed me on how well it went. And it's so good to see you all returning home safe.
It's good to be back, Father. Thank you, my king.
Elluin, your father needs to speak with you right away on the plans for when you three go to the Eilfast Castle in search for the Eilfast Shrine.
Thank you, King Raaos. I'll catch you two later. Until then, cousin.
Guard, a word.
Yes, High King.
Secure a flask of the grotto water for Prince Adresin and Princess s3e5.
Right away, sire.
Now, that leaves you two. I need you both to reach the Gaelin Shrine and have it blessed. Tomorrow you both will be leaving for the Eilfast Castle. Adresin, you do remember the way there?
Of course I do, Father. But wouldn't it be better to allow s3e5 to rest after the blessing ritual, instead of going straight to the Eilfast Castle? We don't know how the ritual will affect her.
I understand your concerns, but given the timing of the plan against the Aear Lug, we need to act fast to rescue Queen Anania.
Okay, I'll trust you, my dear.
Have faith in her abilities, son. She has gotten stronger since she first entered the realm, and with you at her side, both of you can achieve so much. Now hurry while I make sure everything is taken care of for your trip tomorrow.
All right, Father. We'll see you afterwards. My prince, the flask of grotto water that was requested. Thank you, s3e5, my dear. I know you said to trust you, and I do, but I don't want you pushing yourself to the point of collapsing. I worried about you when you first came here. Being in this realm caused such a change in you. Oh, I know you haven't had any issues for a while, which is why I'll trust you. Now just promise me you won't overdo it. Well, I have been inside the shrine a few times as a child with my parents, but it has been a while since then. I don't remember it much except for how to get to the entrance, since I wasn't allowed to play inside the shrine. But that's actually where I learned how to create the Gaelin house crest, the Sabrina Rose. I learned and trained with my Gaelin magic outside of the shrine, except for a few that I was taught in secret there. Our guardian Raaos would tell some amazing stories of past relatives when he taught me. I'll have to share them with you when we have the time. That's right. You did tell me of how you had that dream of the Guardians with your brother. I was amazed how well you described them without seeing them in person. Your gifts have always amazed me. And now I will have the chance to see how far they've come along once we reach the shrine. With your Akashian abilities awakening, and being told by your ancestors themselves to trust in yourself, you shouldn't worry. I'm sure Guardian Raaos will know once we arrive at the entrance of the shrine. Well, here we are, at the entrance to the maze. s3e5, trust in yourself, as you had asked me to. Have faith that you can do this. I'm sure that the ritual will come naturally to you. And if not, I'm sure Guardian Raaos or your ancestors will guide you. Now, allow me to guide you there. Don't let go of my hand, okay? Guardian Raaos must know that we're coming. He's even blocked off the entrance to prevent anyone else from interfering. Which is good to see, as it means that he is still in touch with the Gaelin clan. When we heard that the Guardians had closed off their shrines and lost communication with them, we didn't know what to expect. Oh, see? Even as we get closer, the Sabrina blossoms welcome us to the Guardian Sanctuary. Oh, seeing the blossoms now reminds me of the night that I confessed my love for you. The way the moonlight glowed around you like an angelic being blessing you with their heavenly presence, making part of the maze our own little Eden. I must confess, I was so nervous that you didn't feel the same way for me as I did towards you. I felt like I was floating high in the clouds when you said you were in love with me. Even our first kiss still lingers on my lips. I was the luckiest elf in Aear Londe that night. Oh, s3e5. Oh, even now, I still am. The way you blush makes you even more beautiful, my dear. And I must agree, it was an unforgettable night. Ah, here we are, my love. Are you ready? Guardian Raaos, we humbly ask for entrance to the Gaelin shrines so that Princess s3e5 may bless it. Welcome, Prince Adresin and Princess s3e5. I've been waiting for you both. You both may gain entry. Follow me, and let me show you the Gaelin Shrine.